Okay, look, Larry, we know that in 2011, the Obama administration secretly changed the rules of FISA. We know this because the Washington Post reported on it 2 years later. We know that they abused the very rules that they changed and overreached even those rules. We know that because the FISA report publicly came out and reprimanded the administration for doing that. So we know, as a matter of record, not as speculation, that the Obama administration did misuse FISA to spy on Americans. So what could be in this memo that could be so much more explosive? I have to admit my imagination's peaked, Larry. What do you think?
The fact, Bill, that it was with regard to the president, the fact that this was intended to take out the president before he was elected, to prevent him from being elected president, and also afterwards to get him removed. The fact that the FBI has been working with people who have had this conspiracy, the so-called insurance policy, the secret society to do this. And this is right out of a Hollywood movie, but regrettably, it's true. And I know all about the illegal surveillance. I joined the NSA, as you know, twice in the last few years for illegal surveillance on masses of Americans. We also have a whistleblower, Dennis Montgomery, who says the surveillance was trained on the Supreme Court justices, on judges, on Trump when he was a businessman, on even me. So this is nothing new. And I got to tell you that Wray is threatening to resign if the memo is released. Well, good riddance, I hope. In fact, he does resign, because we need somebody in there who has some strength. This guy's like a kid. He just rolls over. He's protecting his flanks because he's been appointed for a 10-year term. He doesn't want to be stabbed in the back by other FBI agents who are at the high level, who participated in these illegalities. And he's putting his own interests ahead of the interests of the president and the country. I hope he does resign, and we can get somebody in there, frankly, that has some cojones as FBI director.
Oh, goodness, Larry. So isn't this historically backwards? Typically, we would see Democrats asking for more transparency and Republicans working to protect national secrets. How did we end up here?
That's interesting. You know, the thing that's strange, and this is the dichotomy between the left and the right. When I brought cases against the NSA, I had more support on the left than I did on the right in terms of
it's all backwards now.
Yeah, but now, because the president's ox is being gored and their ox is being gored, they have, and all of these agencies, it is a deep state. It is a secret society. It goes far beyond anything that the FBI agent Strzok wrote or his mistress, Lisa Page. This has been out there for a long time. A friend of mine, David Marconi, I've mentioned that before, he's an A-plus film writer in Hollywood, wrote the movie Enemy of the State, where the NSA was spying on everybody. I forget his name, the actor, African-American actor,
Will Smith.
Played that part. Will Smith, along with other actors. And this is something that we've known that's been out there for a very long time, and we have to clean it up. The president now is being the victim of it, and, of course, the American people by extension, because they voted for him. And this was used to destroy a presidency. It's extremely dangerous. I don't think the American people really understand yet just how serious this is.
You know, today got more interesting. It got weirder. It's already as interesting as it's going to get. It got weirder when Adam Schiff, the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, came out and said, we didn't vote to release that memo because the memo that got sent over to the president is changed from the memo we voted on. And Chairman Nunes came back and said, look, it was not materially changed. I did some grammatical fix to it, and I answered a question that someone had raised. It sounds reasonable, but here's my question, Larry. Why didn't they fix all of that before they voted on the memo, or what's going on here?
Well, they should have, but you know what? Schiff didn't vote for it, neither did any Democrats. So what's the difference? If all the people on that committee, on the Republican side, the majority, say that this memo is okay, no harm, no foul, in effect. So I don't see that being a big issue. And, of course, Schiff, I mean, he's a completely dishonest individual, in my opinion. He's the congressman from West Hollywood. He should worry about what's going on out there and not worry about whether a few words were changed in a memo. But this is not the type of a situation that should be kept from the American people. And to the extent that Christopher Wray and Rod Rosenstein, who apparently is implicated in this and is worried his career is on the line, they cannot be the final arbiters of whether this memo is released. And I'm sure the president will release it. The president does have guts. The president knows that he's got to take the lead here and not worry about this deep state. They can follow him rather than him following them.